afternoon. How is everybody? It's 3 p.m. Saturday, our usual time to give you what we know and to talk about things that matters to our small businesses. In fact, and lately I have been working with banks, a lot of banks, and our client and would make a choice of which banks they want to work with. When they have a loan situation, they're coming over to us, wanting us to help them to get a loan to fund their project, fund their operation. So there's so many products the banks offers. There's so many ways and you can become a bank customer. So one of our clients just ultimately asked us, so Ying, what is the best way to get the best bank working for me? It's such a $1 million question, right? But the way we tackle today's webinar is to basically give you an understanding of bank. So when you do your business and you are affiliating yourself with other vendors, right? So say if you're a construction company, you probably know exactly where to go buy drywall supplies, knows where to do other things. So you have your vendor all lined up. Did you treat the bank as one of your vendor? You probably go like, no, because bank is bank. Bank is not a vendor. No, bank is a bank. Bank is your ultimate, most important vendor you have in your business. In fact, every business must have a vendor that is called the bank. So I want to position your thinking differently right now, and not to think of a bank as some sort of mysterious entity that you cannot have a say about them. You cannot do much about them because they're just that way. If I have a bank down the street and that's the only one I can work with because I can walk over to them, it is easy. So nowadays, life is different. And just like everything else is changing, so the relationship we have with the bank is absolutely changed. If you are not aware of that, if you did not know the power, the flexibility, the choices that you have in banking world, you are here with me today. Go through this webinar. Let me show you, and you are looking at our communitycpa.com website. Obviously, you know to come over here to be in contact with us. And when we finish our webinar, we also deposit our videos here at YouTube channel. So you can actually go onto youtube.com, search for Community CPA, and then you will see what we talked about just 24 hours ago. So you will see this webinar as well. So let's get going with our content today. We like you to see that my PowerPoint didn't come on. Just a second. There you go. So working with a bank as a small business owner, right? Small business owner. The reason I keep on saying that we're talking for you. You are a small business owner. And when you work with a bank or multiple banks in your business, so what you should know, and let's just tackle that. About our firm, right? We always brag about our firm because we're just so great. And we have 40-some professionals and 5 different branches. And as a firm, one of the biggest characteristics we have here is that we collectively speak 10 different languages. So you can imagine kind of the professional staff, the mix of our professional staff, right? So we're not all super good with English speaking, but we're super good with our brain. Even if some of our folks speak English less fluent, they maybe have their accent. I'm telling you, having accent in English does not equal having less intelligence in their brain. So that has no relationship. And you just want to be open-minded when you work with our staff. And we are all super smart people here. We have 4 branches currently and opening up the 5th one in Houston, Texas. If you go onto our website, you can see the picture of our future branch. In fact, the internal renovation is pretty much done. So we're just about to bring furnitures in and making the branch look like our office branch we have. So there's just some logistic work to do, but otherwise we're there. And of course, I want to brag about myself. I do have 3 years, 3 years experience as being in the committee to advise IRS. So I have my operation going for the 28 years, but I also understand how exactly things are going between the data between here and IRS. And I have 2 books I wrote so far. I'm writing the 3rd one. And the 3rd one would be expanding your business. That is where, you probably even wanting to know more about this bank things just because you are at the stage where you are expanding your business. You can't expand your business without banks' participation. I would say that, yeah, you may call it expansion if you have it all on cash and you go, I don't need bank. But that expansion maybe is not big enough that to really shine your future. So I want to say that the capital in business, you borrow money to expand business. That is the strategy for you to leap faith into a bigger platform. And you have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to take generations to grow. By the time you reach there, the business situation change, so you miss your opportunity. Elon Musk didn't shoot up the rocket because he has enough money in his pocket. And he also have financing. He also have support that doesn't belong to his pocket money. So that is how important it is to really stay ahead, really calling to expand your business, not to say that, oh, I'll just use what I have to do what I can do. Good idea, but not in the futuristic thinking. If you are, in business, if you are behaving that way. No responsibility disclaimer as always, and just make sure that you take information on internet seriously. And our things here is we want to talk about the importance of choosing the right bank. So, obviously choosing a bank, it is for the convenience of your business. You don't want to choose a bank that making life more difficult. That's just common sense. So what are the considerations people are using to choose the bank? One is access to capital. And a lot of our small business owners who are first generation of immigrant, and we actually we're not accustomed to borrowing money. A lot of our older generations would teach us that spend what you have, don't overspend. We don't even like credit card, don't we? We spend what we have and we don't overspend. That is such a principle in life for so many people coming from the other world. But here in the United States, and we call this as a capital of business opportunities here, is because of the access to capital. So every bank represents dollars to you, but they don't just represent the dollars you deposited in there. They represent the possibility of more dollars than what you deposit to the bank. Efficiency is what banks should bring to you. For example, if you got a bank producing financial statement on the monthly basis, so confusing, and your accountant in your office or maybe your bookkeeper that you hired would spend tons of time trying to sort out your data, then they charge you more, right? So you pay more, or then your accountant spending more of her time sorting out inefficient display of the financial of the bank statement. So these are little things, and you may not pay attention to, but accounting firms like our firm, we actually looking at the bank statement or look at how bank providing service, we know which bank is efficient, which bank is not. And for different reasons, people choose different banks, but a lot of times our small business didn't even choose. They thought they don't have a choice to choose. They were given, oh, this is the only bank in town, or this is the one that I can walk over, or this is the one that I know one of the banker in the bank. So of course, these are all valid reasons, but choosing a bank has a lot to do with technical requirement. So having them be efficient and providing time-saving resources for you is very important. And the cost savings, by choosing a bank with competitive fees around the interest rate, you can save a lot of money, right? By choosing a bank that gives you savings while you have a balance on your bank, that gives you more income, right? So you want to choose a bank that is actually sharing what they made with you. And rather than imagine, oh, checking account just never really have any interest, I have not seen that, then you are really narrow-sided. Checking account can pay interest. It's not because it doesn't pay, it is because the bank decided not to pay that to you. So knowing that at least give you an idea that you could find bank who actually pays everything you deposit in their account. Risk management, right? You also want to make sure that your money in the bank is risk-free and as much as possible. You know, the bank offers services like fraud protections, insurance that can help mitigate those risks, like FDIC insurance and other insurance, fraud protection. So you want to make sure that the bank is actually watching over your money. And the scalability is when your business grows, your bank should be able to match you. Have I seen clients, the business is growing, then their bank that they dealt with for 20 years would not be able to help them. Did I see that before? Not only before, I see that right now. I see our client don't fit with certain bank anymore because the bank don't have that kind of scalability built into their system. With that said, that, you know, when you look for a bank and who is your right banker, isn't that give you an idea of, oh, okay, those are the things I'd like to see from the bank, but you also want to understand your own business. Your business is growing. I want to tell our small business owner that every business grows from small to medium to big. So you started small business, but you won't always be small. So your size today may not represent the size tomorrow. But when you start a business, if you're hardworking, you can grow. I want to say that you need to look for a bank that can meet your small needs, also bring you to bigger scale and have the flexibility, the understanding of your industry. So industry specifications, specializations, the banks sometimes take that path. For example, some banks are really good with financing equipment or car loan, things like that. But some banks are just kind of shied away from restaurant financing. Have you ever heard of that? I have heard of a lot of that. So banks are also have specialties. Some of things is there a sweet spot, some are not. So you want to know what are the majority of loan you extended out to your customer. Who are your most regular customer? And they may tell you that, oh, you know, small business who ask for under $5,000 is our sweet spot. We do a lot of loans related to that. And those are more like equipment loans and things like that. You ask those questions, and then you know where your banking need are gonna go, because you know that if they're specialized in financing on equipment, and you are a law firm and you're looking for extending your credit because you have this IOTA trust account, and you need to be able to provide proper documentation for your compliance, and all of these, the bank maybe don't know what you are talking about. You want to find out, understand. Bank just like you, they are in different kind of business, and you don't want to assume every bank is the same. In fact, none of the two banks are the same. They all have their reasons to be there. They all have their strong suit for certain areas, and they all have a different leaders, so they believe in different things. And some bank just gonna shy away from you because you don't even speak proper English when you come to the branch. So when you ask for $500,000 loan, they're a little worried, right? So you want to make sure that these are all real people. They go by their real personal experience, so they lead the bank in certain ways, and you want to meet the right leader, the right owner of the bank, so you know that you will be taken care of. Also, some of the banks don't deal with international transactions, and you are growing a business that has a lot of importing, exporting, then you know your business needs some bank with that experience. Transactions. Consider your daily transaction need, right? Do you make a lot of cash deposit, or you don't have any cash deposit? Do you need to transfer money all over the place? And what is your habit? And do you like to run to the bank and put in the check, or you prefer to just mobile deposit everything since the technology is here, right? If you prefer doing business online and on your mobile, then look for banks that offer those robust online mobile banking platform. And a loan. If you're anticipating getting loan in the future, you want to consider the bank that known for their lending program. You see how banks are so tailored for different needs, right? I just want to get rid of one thinking you have in mind, thinking the bank is just one thing. No one can change them. No one can influence them. You don't have a choice. You just go by whatever is coming in. Or maybe you have a choice because they offer $300 free cash for you if you open up a checking account. So that if that is the only decision you make, then you go to that bank. You're not sophisticated enough to handle your business finance need. You want to think more. And if you have a bank kind of dormant in your life, you just deposit, they just do that, and you got $1 million there in the checking account, and they didn't even bother to give you a call telling you that, you know what, we can make 5% of interest for you if you can do sweep account and do some setup. If they don't even do that, that bank really did not provide the services to help you to grow. And as a business owner, it's so hard for us to make money. But if you have money in the bank and you don't make money, and that is something not suitable for you, we say that that's not a suitable bank that you should be with. All right, couple of myths I want to bring to your attention. These, we call them banking myth. I got these ideas from a Stearns Bank, and Kelly Galicki, and is the owner of the bank. So when we talk about the myths, we need to break. And she brought me these kind of, those good points I want to share with you. So myth, checking account do not pay interest. The fact is, personal business checking account can be high-yielding, interest-bearing accounts. Just listen to the experts telling us. I'm not making this up. I'm getting this knowledge from the owners of the bank. So this is the fact. So if you are thinking that you just never got it, that's too bad, because you just are okay with that, not to make money. And the myth is, I need to be near a branch location. Really? Really? Do you need to be near a branch location? Online and mobile banking is so accessible right now anywhere, and your bank may have a national network of ATM for cash withdrawal and technology that allow you to deposit checks on your phone by mobile app. So forget it. You don't have to go to the nearby branch location. And the myth is every type of transaction has a fee attached to it. No, the banks should want to help you successfully run your business by offering no fee, low fee cash management merchant services. So yeah, every transaction have a fee, but the bank who are supporting you can offer you no fee and low fee. It's their choice. And I am charged an ATM fee every time I use my debit card, withdraw cash. So bank should have a free national network that allow your account access to withdraw cash without a fee. For example, you can be part of the fee-free network for 41,000 ATMs nationwide. And you can earn cash back on the debit card. Look at that. So don't try to say that, oh, that's just the way it is. No, it is not the way it is. It is the way that you accept it as it is. And the myth is my money isn't secured in a bank and my deposit only FDIC government insured up to $250,000. The fact is the safe sound banks, good banks, the banks with a lot of capital and run really well should offer free FDIC insurance in excess of FDIC insurance limit of $25,000. So what we're saying is that the bank can offer you unlimited insurance even above the FDIC standards. So that is an option the bank can do. If they don't do, that's another story, but I'm just telling you that that is something that not true. Only $250,000 is insured. I have to use multiple service providers for cash management merchant services. Can't go to one place to get everything done. That's also not true. The bank should have the best in-class technology and build in a partnership with the merchant services processors, credit card services, and other providers. So the bank are in the business to provide you one-stop shopping. If they have a good system, good partnership in place, they bring you that as one-stop shopping. Yeah, that is expectation we have for the bank. I am just a number, and the bank doesn't take time to understand my business and the personal financial needs or my money transactions. That if you felt that way, that is not the right bank for you. Just like every bank is different, right? So it depends on who you are. The care to you is at different level. So maybe, yeah, if you are such a teeny little company and you are banking with this huge big bank, and they're teller about the only person who really see you or even know you, then of course you may not get the level of services that you're expecting. But I wouldn't blame that to the banks because they have a business too, right? If you just deposit $50 a month, they don't have that kind of capital, that kind of manpowers to take care of you and ask you, can you deposit $51 next month, right? So that's normal. But what I am saying is that when you are growing, when you have a thought to expand your business, and you want to make sure that you are not a number. Sometimes, my parents used to say that when you work with vendors, like when you work with other people, as service provider to you, if you don't cry out loud and people just don't recognize you. So they're defining cry out loud as complaining a lot. And so you see people like that. They just complain everything so they get attention. But there's other ways to get attention, which is to give that futuristic plan, to give your plan to the bank, to the banker that you work with. If they are the right bank, they hear you. They become your advisor to tell you what to do the next step. And I have met Rich LaRue, and I have met many bank officers and bankers, executives, but someone with the level of knowledge in business and the lending, it just blew me away. And I will tell you that you need to meet people like that. And of course, you are everywhere. You don't have to meet with Rich. And this is the person I met and in Minnesota. And he is from Stearns Bank. But you will find someone that's so knowledgeable when you talk about your dream and your business. And this person immediately give you feedback. Oh, you need to do this first. Then we can do the borrowing next step. Or they tell you that maybe that is not a good idea. You shouldn't be expanding this way because we already knew some people went on that path and maybe didn't make it really well. So those, just know that the bank commercial lending officers are actually your free business consultant. Seriously. So you need to know them when you are in business. I can't give you every name that I know, but I can assure you that you'll find them in your community, in those banks that who you felt you are cared. Very important. Evaluating bank, couple key factors. Customer service, number one, how quickly they get back to you, and the knowledge you felt within what they're offering you, and the fees and charges. You know, you got to look at that. You cannot be like every fee and charges are just what it is. It's normal. No, you can save on that when you shop for which bank you want them to be your bank. And accessibility, right? ATM, branches, those are important. Online and the mobile bank features are important. And lending options, what type of loan, term of the loan, how quickly they can approve. I'll give you an example. I have done loans with bigger banks. I have also done loans with smaller banks. And I have to say that if I take 4 months to do a loan with the bigger banks, and that whole process can trunk into 2 weeks with a small bank. And it's not a right or wrong answer. It is the efficiency that comes when you are not a number. And very important to have that established relationship with the banker that you work with the lending officer that you happen to know. And with that is a key factor, right? You want to make sure that you have this relationship built with the bank. Of course, when you spend your time and energy to build this relationship, you also want this bank to have enough bandwidth to take you in and grow you. So when you need $10 million, they're not gonna be like, we don't have that money to give that to you. And no bank gonna say that to you, but the reality is some of the banks just don't have the capital to really do that with you freely. Because they don't have capital, their capital is tight. That's why when they underwrite very toughly. But if you have a bank with resources, the bank is doing well, they know your business, they feel enthusiastic about what you're doing, then their underwriting will be enthusiastically done as well. So it is so much about what they believe in you versus, and coupled with what they have in their mason jar. Makes sense? So with that said, you want to care. The bank you're affiliated with is big enough for you. And how do you check on that? Those are public information, folks. So you can check on them, you can check them up and figure out the equity, or figure out the capital and of the bank and the inquiry of who they are working with, how much, what average loan they're making, what kind of loan they normally make, and get to know all of that will help you to know whether you are in the right neighborhood or not. And the business account service, no fee. These are no fee service. I want you to expect that. So, when you go into the bank and you go, well, they charge me a fee for this, for that, and this list is the fee that should not have fee normally. Check writing, unlimited deposit item, and there are banks even charge fees on deposit. And, I've seen plenty. They, especially for cash deposit, they charge a fee. So that causes the business owner not wanting to put the cash in the bank. Just a little bit ridiculous, but, that's their bank. So I wasn't really in the place to tell everybody to change banks, right? But I'll give you what I know. An online mobile electronic banking portal, that should be free. Cash rewards on debit card, that should not have a fee. Purchase should not have a fee. E-statement, when you have the bank give you a report electronically, that should not have a fee. Fraud protection. You want to know what bank has fraud protection. I personally have gone through fraud in our own account. It just happened. One of our staff logged into our community CPA's bank account and to check on something. Then the computer froze and she decided to come back after lunch. So she went on lunch and it came back. So, but what she noticed is that there were 3 transactions, 900,000, 600,000, 120,000, all listed on the bank. And we don't have 900,000, we don't have 600,000, but that 120,000 went. So someone logged in, probably just fraudulently logged in and, create her screen frozen, but actually they're behind the scene to take the money. So if you have fraud protection, then even if you lose that money, you will recover some or recover in full. If you don't have fraud protection, you lose it. This money, this 120,000 took me 6 months, and the bank did help to pull the money back. But if I didn't get it back, I lose it because I didn't have the fraud protection. And I lost about $20,000 in between because the money was going all the way to Britain, and it's like very fast. It just went from US all the way went to Canada, then go to Britain, and then by the time we get it back, it's $20,000 less. But anyway, at least I didn't lose all of it. That's how important that is, right? And then of course, ICS and CDRs, and those are additional insurance that you can get from the bank. Business account service with fees. Those are normal item with fees. And of course, even though with fees, you can still work with the bank to get certain fees waived if you got them in large quantity or repetitive, and you can work with the bank to maybe get your ACH processing fee lowered and exempted. So those are negotiable, right? So lockbox, remote deposit, ACH process, wires, business invoicing, cash management integrated into your business bank account, stop payments, return item fees, and things like that. These are with the fee, yes, but these are the fees the bank has control of. And the Banking Smart, who is your dedicated banking team? And if you have a bank that you work with, and you really should know, just like when you work with community CPA, you know who is your team. You got this person for tax preparation, that person for accounting, and that person for payroll. You know who you are working with, why you are working with community CPA. Same with your bank. So when you work with the bank, know that they are a service provider. Only more important than anybody else because they have your money, right? So you want to make sure that you know that team. Folks, you need to treat banks as a business. They're not goddess. They whatever they're saying, you have a right to judge, and you have a right to choose. You don't have to stuck with the bank and the feeling like you cannot go anywhere. They're all the same. They are not. They are really not the same. Every bank has its own character. The leaders who leads that branch, that bank, actually will have that spirit all the way to the teller. And whatever leaders is on the top, that's how the bank operates. So, I always say that the older I get, the more I realize how important that is as a leader. Because that leader is literally giving all of her or his personality to everyone work underneath that person. So if that person is discriminative and just don't believe in you, speaking broken English, you can do business here, really? And if that person has that mentality, it will triggering down to every angle of your service. So they will not support you because they don't have that belief. Because in that leader's personal life, he doesn't know any better. But luckily, there are a lot of banks, a lot of bank officers, they know, they understand immigrant business, they understand minority, they understand those startup business, and they know what you are good at, and they believe in you. Those are the bank you want to go to. So know your bank team, know how they operate spiritually. It is so more important when you are running your business with this bank. So your business deserves a designated banking individual or team. Okay, and they should review your current bank account, give your suggestion. If they don't do that, knocking their door, say, I like my account to be reviewed, see whether I have more opportunity to pay less fee and getting more income from what I deposit to your bank. Isn't that simple? You just say that. Go knocking on the door, says, I want to lower my fee and increase my income for the balances that I have in the bank. See what they say, see what they present to you. Inform your bank that, to inform your bank on whatever that comes up with your business, that it will alter your cash deposit, it will require the bank to do more things. For example, we have a lot of ACH payment from our client to our bank, right? Community CPA will provide regular services, so our client will pay us ACH. So when that ACH comes in, and the transaction level was so much, at the end of the month, we can see 1,000 to 2,000 transactions that coming in, just like popcorns, and you see them coming in. Then to really organize them and book them efficiently, that requires bank's help. So we go into the bank, we say, can you give us certain files in this format so we can take that file and then put it into our ERP system so that can book it automatically for us. You see how we work with bank, right? So you need to think of that too. In today's time, if you run business without efficiency, without automation, you are losing already, never mind about growing. So with that said, you want your bank to be supporting you. They are able to do that for you. They should be the one that knowing what you need and come up with recommendations saying we can do this, let's do this. So they are couple steps ahead of the world because they're in banking, there's so much compliance, there's so much development is going on every day. So their job is to improving your experience with them. So whatever you said, you desired, probably someone else there in the banking world is already developing. So just know that you want your team, you want your banking team to be so close to you, like how you want community CPA to be so close to you. Make sense? Reporting functionality. This is one of the slides I really want you to know because bank does that. And you don't, normally what do you use? Reporting from the bank. You only look at the bank statement. That is so limited. Ladies and gentlemen, you actually can get a lot more reporting out of the bank, but you just don't ask for it. Or they didn't really have time to show you where they are. So look at the list. Okay? So you can get a cash flow report. You can get a wire transfer report. You can get a user activity report. You can get transaction report. You can get loan report, which you know how to get it because you need to get that for your tax people, so you always ask for it. And you can get fraud alert. If there is a fraud, possibly fraud, alerting you. You can get ACH activity report. That's what we download. okay? And then you can get your balance report, useful if you need to maintain a minimum balance, right, for the bank. So there's so many things. You can even have custom report, things that they don't normally do, but you need it, so you can ask bank to generate that for you. Remember, they are a huge database. Your data is there. So whatever you needed on your business, that bank probably would already be able to supply to you. Then you may say that, oh, Ying, are you saying that I can actually just get the bank report so I don't need accounting service anymore? They can give me everything. For smaller business, yes, that could be done. For smaller business, I always say to our small business owners that in the very beginning, your bank statement, your bank report really replaces whatever report you are trying to do in QuickBooks. And maybe that is not needed. You can actually sort your vendor purchase so you know what you spend. You can sort your deposit. You know what you got is income, what you got is not income. So that can all be accomplished by the bank. But of course, the condition is that the prerequisite is that you do everything with your bank. And you're not, doing something outside of that bank transaction. But nowadays, how much more can you do outside of bank transaction? Everything is online, right? Especially after the pandemic, nowadays, we don't see a lot of cash transaction, don't we? And less. Even restaurant owners were like 20 years ago, the life is very different. Restaurant is cash concentrated place, but nowadays it's credit card, right? Credit card, debit card. There's not a lot of cash anymore. And so with that said, and you can imagine smaller business, simpler, just start up, don't spend money on accounting, and just go to the bank, have them run report for you. All right? So I think if anybody from the banking world listen to me, they will be like, oh well, no, now we're gonna have a lot of people know how to make us work. And if you didn't ask before, you should ask, right? How to find the right bank, the question you want to ask. So you want to ask how quickly can you get a hold of your banker? So that is really, really a key. You don't want to not be able to get a hold of your banker. And when we realized we lost 120,000 in that fraudulent transaction, actually we were able to get a hold of the bank really fast, and it was immediate. Otherwise, the money is really not able to come back, even though it came back 6 months later. But the tracing, the stopping started immediately. So with that said, it is really important that you have access to get to the bank very quickly. Do they have a banking team? Who do they give to you? Who do they recommend you? So you want to make sure that you have a team. So are they familiar with your industry? Are they interested in your business? If they already tell you that our bank don't make any loans to restaurant, and you are a restaurant owner, why are you being their client? Get away from them, because they won't help you. When you really build up all the credit and you did all the good work, and they won't loan to you because they don't loan to the restaurant. Is your banker creative and innovative? Is your banker interesting when you tell them your story? Are they caring? And what do you feel about them? And our senses as a business owner, we all carry certain senses. I actually meet with service providers or anyone I meet. I can sense. I knew whether this person would really down to earth and know who I'm dealing with, and know who I am, and know my needs, my clients' needs, and I recognize these people. That is why Community CPA has this network that we know the bankers, we know the bank owners, we know where to send people when need rise. So, in Chinese, there is a term called 人以群分，物以类聚, which means that people are actually divided into different groups by their beliefs. and product actually classified into one place by what they are used for. So basically that term says that if you are a person in certain way, you naturally build a system or network around yourself the same way. So it is important to attract the positive people and positive practice and practice that believe in you, the bank that believe in you, to make them your team. Unless you have a good team, your CPA team, your banker team, your lawyer team, you can't run your business successfully. You need them. Are they only interested in paperwork? Some of the banks are so big with paperwork, they almost use that to scare you. So you go, oh, I want to borrow $5,000. Then the banker will say, yes, we do that, and please fill up the 21 pages of form. And, I see that to be a way for them to politely push you away. Because a lot of our small business owners, the reason they are small still is because they themselves couldn't really handle the paperwork. But when they become a bigger business, they can hire people to handle the paperwork. But in the very beginning, not everybody has the work habit to handle the paperwork. So I worked with entrepreneurs, so smart, so successful, but they do not want to handle paperwork. If they stuck with the bank and they give them 21 forms to fill out, they just didn't do. They won't do. So things won't get done. So make sure that you are not working with a bank who use that as a reason to push you away. How long for them to provide the service that you need is also important. Remember I said to you that for the same deal, and with the national big banks, I actually worked almost 4 months, 3.5 months. But the same deal, the same information, and it was done by a small bank or a bank that not as popular as those big names in 2 weeks. So that's the difference. And yes, smaller banks, the banks that has a lesser hierarchy are moving faster. So you want to identify those banks and keep them in your pocket because they are the treasure for you. Research and comparison. That's important. You want to research the bank, compare the bank, and know that what you want. The importance of researching multiple banks and comparing service fees and customer reviews, it is beyond what you think the convenience. Yes, they may be next door to you, but they may not be the right bank for you. How to make the final decision based on the business need and research conducted, that is something people can help you. Your mother-in-law can help you because they will tell you that with your study, and they will say that, well, look like this is the best, because they are not going to ask you how long for you to walk to that branch, because those family members, they just want to make sure that everything you do can be done quickly. So how quickly can you do a deposit of a check? Is mobile deposit quicker or walking to the bank is quicker? No brainer. And why are you still doing actual deposit? You are 20 years behind time. So there should not be a business owner and packing up cash and checks and going to next door branch to deposit. That just is not needed. And you just need to have that technology under your belt and knows how to do it remotely. So the convenience is there. The convenience is there, so next door neighbor is no longer the thing. The thing is, it has all of the features you wanted, can do all of the things you desire to do right now or in the future. Of course, Community CPA can help you too. We always try to tie our clients with the appropriate service provider, right? So that is our goal, because our only wish for our client is they can work their expansion of their business easily. And I do not want to see my clients grow such a great business, but trying to get a line of credit, trying to get a loan is like pulling teeth. And it is not correct when that happens to you. So that means you did not find the right bank to work with you. It is very normal, it is very understandable that you didn't start of your business account by thinking so much more like we talk about today, but this webinar is the one that giving you a understanding. Banks are businesses just like you and our business. There's no difference. So you like one CPA firm and you don't like the other one. It's no different from you like one bank, you don't like the other one. It is your right to choose, and you want to break the myth we talked about. Understand that you can find the best deal for yourself, just like you shop in Walmart to get the lowest cost, and you can shop banks to get the best deal for yourself. All right? So no more default, like we have to do whatever the bank says. No. And it is your understanding and knowledge that will empower you to find the best deal for yourself. All right. So desire to know more from us, and you have on our website, you can tackle into our time. You can book my time, and we can talk online, and you can call and to see what kind of bank and you prefer, you would like us to reference, and tell us what you need, and we will do our best to tie you with the bank that we know can serve your needs. With that said, I also want to show you the last slides. You know, we have this YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to our channel so that way you know what kind of topic is coming up on Saturday and Tuesday. Saturday is the day that I definitely speak. Tuesday, majority of the time, I'm on Tuesday, and Tuesday is an English session. Then Wednesday is Chinese, Friday is Spanish. And you can send the interested topic to Catherine at communitycpa.com, and she will work on getting the knowledge together so we can air that out for you. And you know that our firm is so special. We open 6 days a week. And have you ever met another CPA firm open 6 days a week? The answer is no. So we're the only one, and I want you to utilize our resources. And on Saturday, if that is the only free time you have out of your business, you know we are here to help you. And I will talk to you again and see you again at our YouTube channel. Bye-bye.